Hello, I'm Eddie Holzman, and within this past year, I joined the United States Air Force. And in November 10th, I graduated from Air Force Basic Military Training. And I thought I'd just go over my experiences and the advice and tips I have for those that are about to, well, that have just joined the United States Air Force and are shipping off to basic military training. So yeah, to begin, I'll just probably give a little bit of background. I'm Eddie Holzman. I'm from the Bay Area and grew up in Santa Cruz, California. And in May 2020, I graduated from San Diego State with a business degree. And in August 2020, in the middle of a COVID hiring market, I became a medical device sales rep with the largest medical device company in the world, that being Medtronic, in the Spine and Biologics division. And I was working in the Bay Area, mainly San Francisco, up to Santa Rosa, down to San Jose, as a medical device sales rep. And in short, that's a whole separate story. But that particular role, I worked for 8 months in that role. And in short, wasn't a fit, at least at this point in my life. So then I would regret not serving in the military, and I thought the Air Force would be the branch that would fit me the most. So I signed into the delayed entry program and shipped out to basic military training on September 21st. So I'll talk about my experience. To begin, the first piece of advice I have is do what you're told, listen, and pay attention to detail. I'd say the entire basic training environment is designed to basically take you as a civilian and transform you into an airman and military personnel. And you're going to get broken down. Like, quite frankly, it's going to suck, especially at the beginning. You're going to be treated like an undisciplined 16-year-old, second-class human, and lose all your freedom. But weird thing is, even in that environment, I kind of enjoyed it because the people I worked with, I would say 80% of the people on our flight are in general about 18 to 22, so they're all pretty young. I'm actually older. I was the third oldest on our flight. I was 27 years old. Then two other people. One was 29, one was 31. But the environment is designed to basically put you under as much stress and pressure as possible and forge you into an airman. Because I knew this before coming in, and they're replicating in the environment. It's the adversity and hardship you face, and your ability to endure and overcome it and rise to the occasion and operate under that stress and pressure that makes you into a strong, competent human being. So that's exactly what they're trying to do. So yeah, it's supposed to suck, but you'll still, from my life experience, it's the people you kind of struggle with the most that you form the tightest bonds with. And with that being said, so for me, the physical and mental stuff wasn't hard. And I'm not trying to brag or anything. And I know some people say that and they're trying to humble brag, but I genuinely not trying to brag. Just trying. I was honor grad and top PT physical training male for my flight, as well as was voluntold to be the beast chief. So in week 6, you'll go on a mock deployment to the Lackland Air Force Base Annex. You'll take a bus out there, and you basically take all the things you've learned up to that point. It's 7.5 weeks until at least ours was, and operate within a simulated deployment environment. And I got to be beast chief, or the leader of the entire flight, voluntold in that position. And the reason why I mention that is because the most difficult thing isn't the physical, isn't the mental. It's going to be getting disciplined in operating within the Air Force's standards and environments, at least initially, and then the hardest part is going to be dealing with all the personality types. That's always the hard parts. It's like the soft skills. It's because you're taking people from around the world. In our case, we had a person from Ukraine, people from the Caribbean, all throughout the United States, different experiences, different personalities, varying degrees of ego, narcissism, ability to endure stress and pressure, personalities, and trying to get basically that multivariable equation of people. I think we graduated with 39, but we started with 45, and in total had 49 if you watch back. Trying to get all of them to basically be constructed together and operate as effectively as possible is the most difficult thing to me. So I guess how would be the way to solve that? I mean, one thing I learned, I took some notes right here, you're going to be forced to work with people you don't like. That's just the reality. You're being thrown together. And you're going to, even if you don't like them, you're going to be forced to eat, sleep, and even shower together. So your problems aren't going to just magically go away. You need to find a way to push through that, get to the root of the issues of the problems, and then solve them, because the whole environment is designed, the basic military training environment is designed for you to be basically forged into a person that can operate within, if you get deployed into a war zone. And the real world doesn't care. You still, no matter how difficult it gets, you have to find a way to basically endure all the adversity, overcome, and win. So, yeah, the biggest thing is you need to have the maturity that even if you get in some fight, and I'm gotta keep it professional. Even if, thankfully we had no fights in our flight, but other ones, they had issues, let's say that. But basically, you have to set aside your own ego and differences for the greater good of the mission. And that's going to be the most difficult part, because you have to take all, like I said, all those different personality types and get them to work towards one goal, which is the hardest part, which is the leadership part. So, yeah. Another tip of advice is I came in very like in shape and stuff, but definitely come in shape. Definitely do a little bit of studying beforehand. I knew the Airman's Creed before I came there and a few other things. So the more like you're gonna have to learn that no matter what. So just coming in prepared just makes the transition a little bit easier as well. What else do I have to say? I'm kind of going off the cuff, but I'd say there's other channels with like things like how to fold your socks or clothes, or like how to march, etc. And I'll link those in the description so you have access to that, as well as if you have any questions. Since I graduated recently from BMT like last month, I'll put my Instagram down in the description. You can message me if you have any questions. And yeah, I think that's basically all I have to say. I'm glad, like, if you decided to join, like, more kudos to you, man. Like, or female, like, or women, whoever, airman overall. Wish you the best, and takes some courage to do this. So appreciate you giving it your all, etc. And there's something I wanted to say, but I can't remember off the top of my head. So I guess we'll just call it there. But yeah, you're joining the world's greatest air and space force, and enjoy it. Like, it's the things that you work the hardest for that you come to value the most. So the BMT environment's gonna suck, but just keep focusing on the long-term vision of graduation, and it'll go by quicker than you think, even though at times it can feel like it's going on forever. So just focus on your long-term goal, and don't lose yourself within it. So yeah, have a good one, and wish you the best. Aim high, fly, fight, win, and have a good one.